For the first time in league and franchise history, FC Kansas City will not go to the playoffs. But the Blues, led by veteran goalkeeper Nicole Barnhart, can still have a say in who does. A win or draw by Chicago guarantees the Red Stars a spot in the Final Four. However, the two-time defending champions can sweep this home-and-home series and try to win back-to-back-to-back for the first time this season. NWSL Soccer is next from Kansas City. .78 degrees in Kansas City with a very light wind out of the south with flags at half-staff as we remember 9/11 15 years later. Vlatko Andonovski with a chance to see his team reach 500, although they won't reach the goal of being able to get the postseason all 4 years. Of course, no team had done that the first three until FCKC did, then winning back-to-back championships. But it has been kind of a disappointing year when you look at some of the missed opportunities. They figure maybe 8-9 points that they left on the field where they got no points instead of a draw, 1 instead of a 3. And you think back to a game where Shea Groom gets a red card, 46th minute, just the beginning of the second half, and they play a man down. But Groom has really come on this year, getting a chance to play a playmaker and a goal scorer. 8 goals now after getting a brace in Chicago. Vlatko Andonovski thinks she's the kind of a player that could score 13 or 14 in a season. The issue with FC Kansas City is to find that handful of players that can score 3, 4, 5 goals. Groom has accounted for 50% of the scoring this season. Julie Johnson, one of the 3 Red Star players who will represent the U.S. in a couple of friendlies coming up. Johnston, the terrific center back for Chicago, joined by perhaps the goalkeeper of the future with the USA team. Alyssa Nair could be that gal. Of course, Ashlyn Harris, another one of the NWSL possibilities, as we look for that next goalkeeper after Hope Solo. But Chicago can advance the postseason if they get at least a draw here tonight. Chicago has been a good team on the road, 4-4-1 away from Chicago. They're 6-1-5 in 1-goal games. The only loss to Kansas City in midweek. Back with soccer after this. And welcome into Swope Soccer Village as FC Kansas City is ready for the final home match of 2016. One lineup change that's different from when they played in Chicago in midweek at left back, and Katie Bowen will start on the bench. Alex Arlett, another one of the fine rookies on this team who was bothered by a stress fracture in a leg early in the year. She will get the start at left back. So for FCKC, it's Groom up top in the midfield, McCarty, Heather O'Reilly, Castor, Scott, and Laddish. That back line of Arlett, Sauerbrunn, Averbush, and Taylor in front of the goalkeeper, Nicole Barnhart, who has 5 shutouts this year, same as Alyssa Nair for Chicago. One notable change, Sam Johnson with a knee issue, not able to start tonight. Cara Walls will be in the lineup here, in addition to Gilliland, Naughton, Short, Johnston, McCaffrey, DiBernardo, Press, Colaprico, as we play here for the final time in Kansas City in September. We are underway. Red and black tops for the Red Stars with their blue trim and blue socks as they play it back to Alyssa Nair, who was really made some kind of a push for MVP honors this year, the way she's been able to play. And she was NWSL Goalkeeper of the Year a couple of years ago. And think back to 2015, she had that one match in which she had 12 saves, which is almost unheard of. But going forward with the national team, she's going to be in a position to take over for Hope Solo when that day comes, which may not be too far away. But we'll get a good look at the goalkeeper in net tonight. Heather O'Reilly putting on pressure on the boundary. Heo in a different spot in that attacking mid. And after Lauren Cheney retired last year, it's been kind of an issue on who do you put there underneath the forwards. And Heo has really come on now, starting in her 3rd game in that position. Red Stars have it at the end. The ball will roll through, and quickly we get a corner kick opportunity. Vanessa DiBernardo will take it. She hadn't scored this year, but she took all 7 of the corners when they played on Wednesday. Had 2 goals in 2015, none this year, but started 19 times as a rookie back in 2014. Her dad played indoor soccer in Kansas City back in the day. Early chance for the Red Stars after losing 3-2 to Kansas City, and that ball will sail out. We mentioned that wind out of the just pushing a little bit out of the south, and just enough to ride that thing past the back line. Castor has it taken away. A centering pass will end up right to Alex Arlett, and Short's cross ended up toward nobody. Walls was the closest to it. Chicago in need of just a point to be able to reach the postseason. A very busy Sunday here in the NWSL. This is the earliest of 4 games. Houston and Boston start in about an hour. And at 8:30 Central Time, Portland, the number 2 seed currently, against Western New York. Western New York and everybody else chasing Washington. Spirit with a league-high 29. That's Brittany Taylor in the corner for FC Kansas City. She's been able to play right back and center back as well. When Becky Sauerbrunn was away with the national team, she has stepped in nicely. One of the many converted offensive players that's able to push back and be effective in the back, but she's been a real pro in her first year with FCKC. Very happy with what she's been able to give them. With Shea Groom, Taylor in the corner, and a corner kick opportunity quickly for Kansas City. Heather O'Reilly will be captain and start for the U.S. when they play Thailand in Columbus on Thursday. Her international retirement as she plays a couple of friendlies here, but will continue on in the NWSL with FCKC. Hayo will send it left-footed out just in front of the 6. The ball is batted back. Mandy Laddish will play it to Desiree Scott, a bronze medalist in Rio for the Canadians, given a bouquet of flowers before we started here tonight. Their ceremonies at the middle of the field. That's Alex Arlett to Yael Averbush, who had a game winner a week ago. Free kick in the 84th minute. Put it on a tee, blasted it upper 90 into the corner. Ball sent too high for Caroline Castor. And a screen, if you will, set up by DiBernardo, who's able to get it back to Alyssa Nair. Big throw, plays it wide to the right. We talk about all the technical aspects that Nair does. It really comes, it's not about the feet and the hands and the throws and the kick. It's the fact that she's able to make saves, which applies to Nicole Barnhart as well. But a very interesting promotion coming up for the U.S. Nationals in the near term. We see if Nair or Harris end up being that number 1 goalkeeper. Ball sent down. Julie Johnston there will escort it back to the goalkeeper. Pressure from Caroline Castor, who started as just one of the players who wanted to train with this team and see where it took her. And she went from being a practice player to a reserve and in the starting lineup. Had a header assist to Shea Groom, one of her 2 goals on Wednesday in Chicago in that 3-2 victory. But FCKC, that's the one thing. Just a couple of teams have scored less than them this year. They've been in desperate need of scoring without Amy Rodriguez, without Sydney LaRue, without a playmaker like Cheney, who retired. Her number 12 is on a flagpole next to the city flag and the American flag in the northwest corner of this stadium. We're supporting Kansas City. The Major League Soccer team trains here. And of course, the Sporting Academy has a lot of youth players coming through here. And this with Washington arguably the best playing surface in the league. Johnston able to bring it forward as it deflected back, and Barnhart will take it from there. But Barney's had a year where she's been able to play every match. This is number 19 with 20 to go. The season shortened a bit by the break for the Olympics. Of course, the U.S. well represented all over the league. Mexico, New Zealand, Katie Bowen for FCKC, Desiree Scott for the Canadians. And Becky Sauerbrunn, who's the captain here, went to the center of the field before with Kristen Press. You saw her go up in the air to win a ball. That's Brittany Taylor back in the middle. Scott to Laddish. Really had that hip issue flare up at the very end of the Chicago game just days ago. Arlett with a run has O'Reilly in the middle. She'll chase it down, bumped by Gilliland in the corner. Ball still alive. O'Reilly kicks it and asking for the corner kick. We'll see which way they point. And Hale will take it again, but just a true professional that O'Reilly's been asked to do something that she hasn't played a lot. Gilliland with a big bump. You saw that Arlen was able to keep that ball in play, going down hard, both of them getting tangled up. Gilliland grabbing that lower leg, and she is on the field still, not able to get up. Not far from Heather O'Reilly. But they'll play on, and FCKC will play it short. McCarty to Castor, up high, and a follow shot just wide. Taylor was there for Kansas City. The ball was alive right in front, and FCKC will get another. They'll continue play here quickly with a man advantage. Talked about Castor being able to set up Shea Groom with the ball in the air in Chicago, and there with a nice save to punch that ball away. There's Laddish up top. Kristen Press was providing the pressure. And the Red Stars will win it back, then give it away. Averbush will run it down. We've seen Yael play the center back position next to Sauerbrunn this year, and one of the more technical players in this league with her ball skills. And talk about all the free kicks that she has made in her time with FC Kansas City. And looks like we might have already had a quick substitution. Sarah Gordon has checked in. And Gilliland will have a very short day here. She is still on the field now, being helped up by two medical people down in the corner, but Gordon in for her. That's DiBernardo in the middle, pass press. Alex Arlett there for FCKC, a rookie from LSU. McCarty will throw it in. Now she'll leave it. And Arlett will take it from there, but talked about Katie Bowen, highest draft pick for FCKC this year. Played left back in college. Had kind of a late start because she finished her schoolwork in the spring. She may end up somewhere else besides left back with this team. It's to be determined. There's Taylor in space, has Laddish behind her, plays in the middle. O'Reilly chesting it down, tried to turn in fire. O'Reilly admittedly with an emotional week coming up, captaining the USA team on the 15th against Thailand. McCaffrey headed out by Alex Arlett. O'Reilly will run it down, headed by Averbush. Back to DiBernardo. They play it wide to short. Taylor can't stay with her. Left-footed cross, tapped in the middle. Ball still loose. Turn and fire by Walls. And Short went up airborne and stays down in the side of the 18 box. Now limps to her feet. The ball headed just past the post. Sofia Huerta was there. And Huerta and Kristen Press have been that 1-2 punch for the past 3 games. You saw the ball loose in the middle, able to turn. Walls fired. And the Red Stars, several opportunities, but they come away empty as Barney will kick it from there. McCarty dealing with Gordon, who subbed in for Gilliland, who had a hard tackle in the corner on Alex Arlett and got the worst of it. Over the 3 subs taken earlier than Chicago would like to. Cardi will try to run that ball down to the corner. Plays it back to Mandy Laddish. We'll have a procedure on her hip after the season is complete, but she's been able to play through pain this season. There's Laddish again going down hard. Press over top. Barney scoops it up on a bounce. Becky Sauerbrunn wide now. Alex Arlett backing up is Huerta. Sofia Huerta, 6 goals, 7 for Kristen Press in just 12 games. This is 13. She leads the league in shots on goal with 37 coming into this one. Taylor again in open space. Edgrom to her right, plays it that way. Shea has it deflect off and over the top, and a third corner kick for FCKC. And O'Reilly will take it. We'll talk about that switch to attacking mid. She did this 4 years ago when she played with the Boston Breakers. And one of the games was against FC Kansas City. And that really impressed Vlatko. The fact that she was able to play that position so well. And in need at the end of this season, she has really embraced it. The one thing she was able to do Wednesday was with those diagonal runs, get the ball in space out wide. They want to stretch the field against Chicago. That was the philosophy then. Players are packed inside of the 6. They play it way out in front, top of the 18. Laddish, Castor get tangled up. Julie Johnston in there, and Desiree Scott will blast it over top. And a goal kick, Chicago. Top 4 teams in the NWSL all positive in goal differential. The teams at the bottom tend to be in the negative side, and that's the case for FCKC. It's not the 19 goals given up, it's the 16 goals scored. That's been the issue this year. There, with the wind at her back, we'll send it to the middle of the field. And a throw in for Chicago. It's one regular season game to go after this. A bit of a break with the 2 U.S. friendlies coming up. Then FCKC will end on the 24th in Orlando. Wide now to short. Back to Naughton. DiBernardo. Castor applying pressure. Caroline Castor's been one of the great stories in this league and in this town. It's when her career at the University of Kansas was done. She just didn't have soccer out of her system and wanted to give it a shot, and it's been a good thing for her and the team. Press past O'Reilly. Kristen tries to apply the pressure. The ball available. Julie Johnson over top of Shea Groom. Groom gave him a good look on Wednesday, so she will be no surprise to them as they play for the second time in 5 days this home-and-home series. But Chicago hadn't lost a 1-goal game until Wednesday. That 3-2 result for FCKC. Sauerbrunn one-on-one defending on the line. In front, Walls was there with her back to the goalkeeper. McCarty comes up to defend. Back heel flip. And block the DiBernardo attempt. Desiree Scott. So valuable this year. The Destroyer, well deserved as a nickname. She was terrific a week ago in the win against Sky Blue. In the second half against Chicago, she really came on. Her level jumped. Just constant energy. Barney leads the NWSL in saves with 79. She's played all of it. Press has it taken away by Laddish. Back to Arlett. Laddish circling back. Taylor asking for it on the right side, but intercepted. There's DiBernardo. Now Walls, and a long ball to short. On a high bounce, Desiree Scott will run her down. Barnhart is able to scoop it up. McCaffrey was trying to get in position to workforce shot at the top of the 18, but we're not able to get the ball to her. Laddish now back to Arlett. He's been busy in that left corner so far. Julie Johnston over Shea Groom. We have seen that a couple of times already. Johnston, as a center back, one of the great players in terms of being a target on set pieces. Castor with pressure, short now, they play it back middle. Colaprico, and wide. Throw in FCKC. 17th minute, we are scoreless here, playing in Kansas City for the final time in 2016. We did have a game early in the season at Children's Mercy Park, home of Sporting Kansas City, but they played the rest at Swope here on the grass. FCKC able to win back-to-back, but eliminated when Western New York got a point, got a result against Boston in midweek. But it was too late and really too much to ask for the Blues to be able to make that kind of a run so late in the season. Cardi on the boundary. Gordon there defending. Johnston sends it ahead. Laddish redirects it. Now Walls. Bit of a cushion, now plays it back. Headed by Scott, settled by Laddish. Back to Arlett. Chicago has won 3 times at FC Kansas City. Been a good road team this year. Winston went down, got up. Sauerbrunn back the other way. Now they're just kind of playing kickball. No possession to speak of. Press will send it back. Short is available to the left. They play a long boot that will bounce out and on the line. McCaffrey was in that general area, but not able to get it to her. Stephanie with a couple of goals this year. Now Avra Bush back to Barnhart. The Chicago team is young. You look at the top 14, 15 players, only 3 over the age of 25. 6 players that have played all 19. This is number 19. One more to go. Ball taken away. Tried to send it toward McCaffrey. It was double team. Scott was there. And Avra Bush. Chicago will set up for another corner, and DiBernardo will again take it. 24-year-old out of the University of Illinois. 19 starts her rookie year just 2 years ago. Shielding her eyes as she looks toward the west into the sun. This time toward the back post. And there's white jerseys there. Mandy Laddish runs it down. To send it toward Caroline Castor, who gets tangled up with Short, and Short able to have the physical advantage now. Colaprico will play it back to the keeper, Nair. Katie Naughton from Notre Dame, 19th overall pick in this year's draft. Colaprico with Heather O'Reilly stalking, now trying to get an edge in front. McCaffrey plays it back to Johnston. We haven't seen a great deal of rhythm here the last few minutes. Becky Sauerbrunn with an angle, able to blast that ball out of bounds. Deflecting off a Red Star, so it will be a throw in FCKC. Sauerbrunn so dangerous when she leaves her feet. clean play, but a tough play. We saw O'Reilly get a yellow card a week ago with a hard tackle from behind. And frankly, it's soccer. It's good, aggressive, hard play. Sauerbrunn, one of the great players for the U.S. team. She's captained this FC Kansas City bunch and the USA Nationals as well. 31-year-old from UVA. Home is in St. Louis, 113 caps and counting. She has a lot of international soccer in front of her. Heather O'Reilly will come over to the sideline and get a drink and have a word with Vlatko Andonovski as we regroup momentarily for the injury. As we'll play on momentarily now, the 22nd going on 23rd minute. Washington leads this league with 2 games to go with 39 points. Portland could catch them. Still could have some juggling in the middle for that 4th and final shot. A shot blasted, deflected, and Barnhart was there and able to take it for FCKC. It's wide to Taylor. Walls on her hip and sent it down the line there. Waits for it to go out. And a shield Shea Groom. She couldn't get there, and it will be a goal kick for Chicago. There was a 3-time All-American at Penn State, had 50 wins in college, 24 by shutout. And Jill Ellis will have a choice to make. Take the 28-year-old or 30-year-old Ashlyn Harris. It would seem to be the 2 best candidates to replace Hope Solo. And we're seeing 2 really good goalkeepers here tonight with international credentials. Johnston, Shea Groom coming on. You see those 2 matched up a lot here tonight. We have already. Desiree Scott to a knee. Bertu was there. So a wrestle for the ball. And a bump from behind on McCaffrey and a late whistle. Kristen Press won't take this. It'll be DiBernardo instead. Press outside the top of the 18. Not far from Taylor, Laddish.
Substitution on the field for Chicago Red Stars. Now entering the game at number 4, Alyssa Mott, replacing number 9, Stephanie McCaffrey.
And Alyssa Motts has subbed in for Chicago. They've used 2 here in the first half. So with a couple of injury issues, Chicago has used 2 out of 3. Comes in, and one of the stats that jumps out for her is having the team high 4 yellows on the year. DiBernardo, to put this in play, has short shielding her eyes, and she hits it into the side netting. So through most of this match, when the players look toward the press box side, toward the west, the sun is going to be an issue because it is low at this part of the day, at this time of the year. 27th minute now, still scoreless. After these teams combined for 5 goals on Wednesday. Desiree Scott heads it back. Taylor sending a rainbow toward the center of the field. Taylor again settles to DiBernardo. Too much steam on that. Walls couldn't handle it. Bernard rolls it out to Sauerbrunn. Becky, what are the real pros in this game? O'Reilly with 2 trailing her. Johnston in front. Hale goes down. Hops back up. Beautiful footwork by O'Reilly. But Chicago will come out of there with it as we take a look again. Heather with a chuckle as the ball went down and had it pinned momentarily. Kicked by Johnston from behind. Not a rainbow exactly, but O'Reilly looking for the call there. And not getting it. Nair sends it down. Headed by Walls. And Cardi will have a bump there to keep it the FCKC throw in. And O'Reilly is typically in that wide right spot, but Kristen Press, one of the players too that shows great versatility. We've seen her play center forward, underneath the forwards, on the flank, on the side, and I think it speaks to overall skills and their willingness to adapt and use their versatility wherever it's needed on the field. DiBernardo goes to short. Castor defensively, ball played to the feet. Now coming in is Scott to clean it up. O'Reilly back to Laddish. McCarty. Puerto was there with the pressure. Now headed by the Red Stars. Motz was there for Chicago. Taylor on a give and go with Castor, but they give it away. Look out here. Walls was there. Kristen Press back to Motz left side. And Averbush gets a foot in there. Now Taylor unable to keep possession. Kristen Press. We'll slow down and try to get a run on the right side with an angle. Played in front, and that ball had a little bit of maybe too much hump on it. The back net, and Sarah Gordon not able to handle it from there as it whizzed by. DiBernardo headed by Sauerbrunn. You see Press and a good run with McCarty not in position, and that ball just zipped past the front, and looked like there were a couple of options short and the back post, and neither one worked out for Chicago. Colaprico was taken down to a knee and now gets up in what's been a match that's had a couple of rough moments. Chicago subbing out 2 players with injuries early. Motz and Gordon checking in because of that. Most of the players lined up at the edge of the 18. Sent in the middle, hit Mandy Laddish in the back, cleared by Desiree Scott, settled by Gordon. Too high. Walls was able to get there, but couldn't play it on frame. Here's Laddish, has Castor as an option to the right, goes that way. Short will drop. Shea Groom is in the middle with a run, bumped by Short, and we've seen that collision 2-3 times already. Short takes it away. Nice job defensively. With a physical advantage over Castor using her size. That's Walls taken down. Taylor Averbush there and a whistle. and we'll send it back to the goalkeeper in a scoreless match. First half, 32nd minute. Chicago would not be unhappy with 0-0. It'd be worth a point and guarantee them a spot in the postseason. Switching the field, Julie Johnston sends it ahead now. Arlett, McCarty double team. Gordon was over there quickly, able to get it in play. McCarty kicks it out. Been a good sports day in Kansas City. The Chiefs coming back from 24-3 down to beat the Chargers in overtime. Alex Smith, the quarterback, grew up in San Diego, beats his hometown team. And Royals get a win in Chicago. The defending World Series champions, still mathematically alive for the playoff. They did that a couple of years in a wild card game against the A's after trailing by a bunch late in the contest at Kauffman Stadium, which is maybe 5 minutes from here. It's very close. Walls survives the bump from Arlett. It's been a very physical match so far. Getting a start at left back in place of Katie Bowen. Double team. Slide by Arlett to try to alter the drive by Huerta. Barney comes out of there with it and will roll it forward and really give it away, and does. Kristen Press hustling. Colaprico there. Johnston, and you think about how accomplished she is, but how young she is too, just 24. Star center back, 41 caps for the U.S. That number is going to go way up over time. Had a real threat on set pieces. Good target, very physical player, short asking for the ball, but Taylor took it. Averbush clears it with her left foot. And it'll be a throw in for Chicago in the 34th minute. Because of injuries, the Red Stars have had to sub twice. Short to Walls. Averbush takes it. Yael forward. Too high. Naughton was there. Now Colaprico plays it to Sarah Gordon. And back to Johnston. We had the U.S. national team play at Children's Mercy Park before Rio in front of a good crowd. Laddish taken away, and wait for handball call as Huerta came flying in. FCKC, the only team to make the postseason the first 3 years. They knew there were going to be some challenges this year, and even going forward with Amy Rodriguez, who's had her baby, Sydney LaRue, who's waiting to have her baby. You really don't count on those players necessarily until you see them at preseason training next year. But this team most likely has the biggest need at attacking mid, even though Heather O'Reilly's done a great job playing that. That's not her natural spot. She can be more effective playing out wide on the right side. So attacking mid is going to be a spot that they look for a player. But it'll be an interesting situation for Vlatko Antonovsky, who likes playing that 4-2-3-1 forward up top. A couple of times this year we've seen them go with two forwards. But if you have a Shea Groom and you have an A-Rod and you have a LaRue, will you play three up top? So lots of interesting possibilities as they head toward the offseason, which is not far away. O'Reilly, left foot, wanted Groom. Sarah Gordon on the side. Ball stays in. Arlett back middle. Laddish. Turn Kristen Press around. Taylor has Castor right in front. Laddish in the middle. Blasted, have it deflected. Double team, goes down hard. And a whistle. A very dangerous spot from there. You've seen Averbush score from distance. Had a 30-yarder when she scored a week ago against Sky Blue in the 84th minute. This ball with a more dramatic angle. She was right on top. As you see the knockdown there. DiBernardo was there, but O'Reilly will handle it this time. Averbush heads over toward the top of the 18. Press. DiBernardo, the wall in front. Now players break. McCarty. Heyo sends it right in the middle. Deflected and cleared. Boy, nicely done. Walls was there to save the day for Chicago. The ball headed in a very dangerous spot, but Chicago able to clear it, and FCKC will get a corner. Take that throw in now. Caroline Castor on a bounce to Scott. O'Reilly left-footed and over the top. One of the things about Heather is she can and will shoot from all over the field. Good with both feet, same as Kristen Press, both good in tight spaces. In some ways are mirror type players. Similar skills, very skilled. Julie Johnston will run it down. O'Reilly is behind her. She could feel it. Settled by Heather. It's Castor and loses it. Kristen Press in the middle. Plays it to Gordon. They have space in front to the left. Try to get it to Mott and will. Defense settles in for FCKC. That's short. Tangled up with McCarty. Comes out of there with the ball. Mott's to DiBernardo. McCarty able to alter it now off Scott. Averbush will send it through, and a throw in Chicago. So no disastrous result there for FCKC. The defense was able to get in play. Kristen Press to short, back to her. Laddish spins, stays in possession, now has it taken away. Quickly Taylor. It's Huerta with her 6 goals. She just has a habit of always being in the right place, being able to finish and score. Maybe not as much of a creative type offensive player as a finisher, but 6 goals is no joke for her. The fact that she and Press have 13 combined. Players fighting for position inside of the 18. Wall couldn't do much with that. O'Reilly settling. DiBernardo can't get in the way of that pass forward. And Chicago will get it back and try again. Press, where to the 2 players you always want to keep an eye on at this part of the field. And might have been Naughton that went up ahead of that. Julie Johnston, Shea Groom is flipped in the air but bounces up quickly, and FCKC will get the ball right in front of the stands in the shade in front of the press box. Take a look at room who's so tough. I saw her just get airborne and lost her leverage there, and Johnston flipped her. Taylor to O'Reilly. Has Castor out in front, overlapping run. And Taylor to the right. And Short again in position. We've seen her do that a number of times already. Able to get to that back line and use her size, speed, strength. Keep the damage to a minimum. Another shot on goal situation. Short plays it safely back to Naughton. Now to the keeper. Scoreless in the 43rd minute. With the injuries, most likely 2-3 minutes will be added on to the end of the half. Too far out in front of Short. Not able to get there. Casey, 2 goals this season, playing in her 19th game. Tied at halftime where they played just days ago. Could be tied at the half this time. Difference would be it was 1-1 in Chicago. Sauerbrunn up to the back of Walls. Herta ahead. The defense fills in quickly. Arlett comes in on a double team. Blocks it. O'Reilly head it back and will circle around and play it back to Nicole Barnhart. FC Casey traded Kate Rowland away early in the season. She went to a situation where she had a chance to start and to play a lot. That's Walls. Sauerbrunn plays it back in front, taken away by Desiree Scott. And a throw in, FC Casey. Cardi double team goes down. No real urgency here going forward. Lots of time in the 45th minute. Back to Short. Able to thread the needle to DiBernardo. Cross right in front. Barnhart takes that easily. We had a foul at the beginning of all that, and Barnhart will handle the kick. Motions Taylor to move down the field, and she does now. A booming kick headed by Castor. O'Reilly's there, has McCarty to her left, a bump by Poloprikio. McCarty over top with a good right-footed shot, but had velocity, but it was just too high. Shot not on frame, but you see her working to get the ball to the right foot. Tiffany just sent it over top. She assisted on a goal in the win at Chicago. And the whistle stops play again.
The referee has indicated the game at halftime will be score FC Kensington 0.
So not a lot of additional time as they blow the whistle. Both teams will head to the locker room, and Chicago not going to be happy with the fact that they lost 2 starters to injuries in the first half, but the scoreboard is good for them. Chicago gets out of here with a draw or a win. They'll qualify for the playoffs by making the top four. We're going to go ahead and take a break here in Kansas City as Chicago and FC Casey are still looking for goal number 1, with Heather O'Reilly headed toward her international retirement and captaining the U.S. team against Thailand. There's Gilliland going down early. Brittany Taylor with a chance to put FC Casey in the lead, but physical first half. Neither team able to put the ball in the back of the net. We'll take a break here and continue in Kansas City as we are looking for goal number 1 in game number 19. And we're back. The second half just underway at Swope Soccer Village. Chicago Red Stars, FCKC scoreless, and the foul with Gordon, one of the first half subs for the Red Stars, climbing on a back. Stephanie McCaffrey, Aaron Gilliland, both coming out of the game with injuries. McCaffrey's only been with his team since July. Gilliland is really one of the players that's just kind of typical of this relentless, high-energy, aggressive team, getting tangled up down to the corner and apparently going down with an ankle injury but not able to come in, so they quickly had to make a substitution. And Casey Short, maybe one of the players I didn't know a heck of a lot about, but she has played very well tonight. Been in control of that left back position and protected that area, been able to run up and down the field. And we've seen DiBernardo do her thing with corner kicks, 6 assists on the season. With the Chicago team that is looking for win number 9. We'd love to be able to get to 32 points, at least temporarily jump past Western New York, the Flash Red Stars, coming into this Saturday on 9/11, this Sunday, pardon me, with 29 points apiece. But Chicago gets a win or a draw, they do advance to the postseason. Erica Timrack, one of the players that won't be a factor in the second half, dealing with an injury, so we won't see Timrack, who was Rookie of the Year that first season in the NWSL. Nair sends it to the middle of the field. Taylor went up in traffic to try to get it, but it's Kristen Press for the Stars. As Mott's turning around. She was subbed in the first half, did not start this match.
Just a few seconds.
Players on the far side of the field, as they look this way, in many cases will shield their eyes, and it could be that way all the way to the end, as we'll in the daylight here, just 6:15 Central Time. And it's been a beautiful day in Kansas City. Summer winding down. Caster to Scott, plays it ahead to O'Reilly. Attacking mid position, she will start for the USA team against Thailand in a friendly on Thursday. The U.S. plays the Netherlands in Atlanta 1 week from today. Pressure here early, pressuring the ball. Julie Johnston able to scoot forward. She saw space, took advantage of it. Motts lost it, got it back. Now plays it wide. And short. DiBernardo. Combined for 5 goals when they played. Now wide open is Gordon. Alex Arlett stepped in there and just too tall for Alyssa Motts, who went up to try to get that back post. Got some good crisp tempo here to begin the second. The team able to play in rhythm much. In terms of the scouting report, that was easy. They just played. Kind of a weird week for FCKC. Played here last Sunday. Monday recovery day. Tuesday travel. Watch video in Chicago. Play Wednesday. Travel Thursday. Friday was recovery day. Reserves had a 6v6 at the Shields Overland Park Clinic. That ball bouncing off Arlett. Light training at Shawnee Mission South with the area high schools with Shields Soccer Complex. Absolute zoo on the weekend with youth soccer. The final home game here now. Huerta in the middle, lost Laddish. From behind Walls. And they circled her. Now McCarty. It's past DiBernardo, has another to beat. Shea Groom hasn't really been able to get in position in terms of Somebody getting her the ball or creating. We haven't seen those chances. Arlett sends it in front. And Caroline Castor was the closest to it, but no threat at all as Nair came up easily to handle that. Scoreless in the 51st minute. Finding offensive rhythm, balance, the issues that FCKC will try to address going forward. Shorts pass goes off Taylor, but Red Stars keep it. Motts, and the ball will go out of play. Vlatko Andonovski, who's always done the double coaching between the Missouri Comets, the men's indoor soccer team, plays at the Silverstein Ice Center and coaching here in the NWSL, will give up the Comets job and have more time to focus on player development, give more attention to this team. With Johnston, Castor makes a run on it, but Nair easily handles that. That's short. Red Stars content to choose some time here. Castor. Heo is there. Leaves it now. Castor middle of the field. Huerta has Walls to her right. Hard to make sure she stayed onside and didn't take that fatal step across. And instead of an offside call, Barney comes up to handle it easily. Sauerbrunn on the ground to the feet of McCarty. And push from behind. Colaprico. Barnhart to Sauerbrunn. And Shagroom with speed and space has DiBernardo behind her to Castor. Julie Johnston knocks down Castor, who's holding her midsection and not getting up, rolling over. Julie Johnston with a big hit as the FCKC player is not getting up. Holding in pain, and now will get attention, but you see the ball serve forward, and Johnson with kind of a hip check there, and Caroline went down and is still on the ground. We've seen Castor in so many roles for this team, coming off the bench late and providing energy, and what the heck, let's start her and see how it goes. Assisting on a goal in Chicago to Shea Groom. And Johnston has a solid frame and delivered a pretty good hip to the midsection. Castor, who's from Wichita. This is about 3 hours from here. Played her college ball at the University of Kansas. Jayhawks with a match in town tonight at UNKC, which was the home of FCKC for a year.
Substitution on the field for FC Kansas City. Now entering the game, number 1, Lo Labonta.
Lo Labonta will check in now for FCKC on the injury to Castor. So all 3 substitutions sparked by injuries. Hard, tough physical play. 6th minute. And we're still looking for a goal. Haven't been able to get one. The best chance was Taylor in front, and they're able to punch that ball wide and keep it scoreless. Riley, pass short to Taylor. DiBernardo's there defensively in the corner. Is Laddish at the top of the 18, but taken away. Serve the press. Back to short. And Averbush the bump from behind. Headed Sauerbrunn. O'Reilly to Scott. Mott's there marking her man. Back to Averbush. They will try to reset. Sauerbrunn looks left, plays it to Alex Arlett, too far out in front. And the throw in for Chicago. Quickly, that's Sarah Gordon. And Labonta, one of the players that took advantage of her opportunities to get on the field for this team. We've seen her start at times, come off the bench. That speaks to, I suppose, the love of the game you see all over this league. There's Heather O'Reilly. Was open for a second, and McCarty had a good look at it, but chipped it over top. Good speed that time by Hayo to try to get inside of the 18 and either work for a shot or have somebody behind her follow it up. Heather with a nice cut back there and sending it wide just past Groom. And McCarty hit it over top. And it might have been difficult with Sarah Gordon flashing in front of her. There's Gordon off Arlett. And a throw in Chicago. Naughton. Short is going the wrong way. Nair. Averbush will shield Walls from getting there and kick it out. Throw in for the Red Stars. In a way, not terribly surprising that we've been able to see this thing remain scoreless, considering two goalkeepers in net here tonight, but not that many opportunities, not that many shots or shots on goal, just 3 shots apiece. Wasted space as they're all jammed in on that side of the field. Left side is wide open. Laddish in traffic. Alex Arlett has the whole left side to herself. McCarty sends it in the middle. Headed out by Julie Johnston. That's short. Settled by Labonta. To Taylor. On the ground to McCarty. Short. Naughton. To herself. Heather, the lefty, and the whistle will stop before that went any further. Shagrin was in a position with the foul called inside. Will Chicago send it the other way. Groom had 2 goals when they played on Wednesday. The other, Fran Silva. Press. And Huerta, that 1-2 combination we've seen 3 games in a row. Both of them scoring for the Red Stars. We'll take one of those here tonight. Arlett. Back to Sauerbrunn, has Averbush as an option, plays it that way. Knott's backing up, gives him space now. Scott with Arlett in front of her. Instead it's McCarty. Julie Johnston. Step over. That's Kristen Press and Sauerbrunn backing up. Plays it in the middle. Now back. And boy, good job defensively by Averbush with Cara Walls there. Walls, the first draft pick ever out of the University of Wisconsin. And Averbush saved the day, at least temporarily, as Red Stars will set up a corner, and DiBernardo again. Walls is inside the 6, as is Naughton. Huerta out in front, marked by Averbush. DiBernardo plays it at the edge of the 6. Averbush gets a foot in to knock it out. And O'Reilly with speed now plays it back to Alex Arlett. Settled by Laddish to Hayo. O'Reilly to the middle of the field. Taken away, DiBernardo able to get there defensively for Chicago. Wide to short. That's Julie Johnston. 10-yard cushion before it closed a bit. Alex Arlett will give it back to Johnston. Had Gordon on the boundary and kicked it out of play. 63rd minute, still looking for a goal. FCKC would like to win back-to-back-to-back. Haven't been able to do that this year. So many what-ifs in this season. Play that's been uneven at times. So a big off-season coming up in terms of putting a roster together. Anticipating who will return. We've seen A-Rod do it before after having her first child, and so she knows what it's like to be able to come back and do it. There's Labana. So he had to hurry that one forward to Taylor. DiBernardo pressuring to short. Now taken by O'Reilly. Has Groom to her left. Ball still loose, and Naughton able to get a foot in there and tow it out. There's Motts. Scary little spurt there for a second for FCKC. Didn't make him pay for it. Motts goes down. With the whistle, will be Chicago ball at the middle of the field. Looks like Tiffany McCarty will check out. Fran Silva in. So McCarty's day is done in the 65th minute. Silva scored in the 62nd minute at Chicago. 62nd minute against Sky Blue a week ago, beg your pardon. There's Labonta. There's O'Reilly. Shot was blocked. Pull the trigger from there, but didn't have a clear shot at it. Arlett into the corner, shoved. And a corner kick for FCKC. Heather O'Reilly will take it. Boy, what a career with the national team. 230 caps, 7th all-time in scoring, 12th all-time in goals. One more assist will tie her for 5th with Julie Foudy. Everybody looking this way into the sun. O'Reilly sends it in front of the goal. Nair goes up and gets it. sun is going to be an issue at that end of the field for a bit longer for the goalkeeper. There is some shade at Barnhart's end in goal off a corner from the same side. Charlotte able to spin around. Kristen Press. Labonta ahead. O'Reilly can't run it down. O'Reilly did the first game ball presentation. Sported KC on Friday at Children's Mercy Park. Went into the Cauldron and did a cheer with the fans in the end zone. Her international retirement doesn't mean her soccer career ends or her time in KC. Shea Groom will cross the field, get it across to Taylor. DiBernardo trying to get in front, but can't get a foot on it. O'Reilly over top of Fran Silva. Silva played at Blue Valley North High School in Kansas City. A star at West Virginia in the Big 12. It's Walls to DiBernardo, now wide to Short. Motts working in front, press as well, top of the 18 off Brittany Taylor. And that ball kick and go off the Red Star player, and Barnhart quickly gets it to Averbush. Talk about some of the change this year, and Jen Buskowski, who'd been really the Iron Man, if you will, of this team in this league for the entirety of the league, retiring in mid-season, go to physical therapy school. So it's been kind of a fluid roster for FCKC. Disbelief as Chicago will get the throw in, but they'll go further back than first wanted by Huerta. Shea Groom is just going to hang around when Julie Johnston lets this thing fly. In the 69th minute. Low line drive, skips, Arlett tries to run it down in traffic, has it taken away. Look out, play it back to Huerta. 6 goals on the season. 7-goal Kristen Press. Now plays it back. Filiprico rolling out, throwing in Chicago. On the ground, Walls. Back to Johnston. Averbush in position there. The ball was loose in the air. And another player goes down, slow to get up. That's Becky Sauerbrunn, just outside the 18. Just aggressive, hard play at both sides. We have not had any cards, no bookings. And another sub for FCKC. Looks like Katie Bowen will come in for Alex Arlett at left back. So they trade rookie for rookie. Bowen able to get experience in Olympic play this year for New Zealand. A lot of upside with her skill set and willingness to work and learn. Soak up all she can. Groom thrown to the ground. Shea Groom was knocked down by Huerta. Usually arms extended are when can get in the most trouble. Labonte back to Sauerbrunn. But I think all the times that we've seen Groom go down, kind of a testament to her performance on Wednesday and over the course of the season. By far the most dangerous offensive threat in terms of scoring. Heather O'Reilly had to play it in the middle. Groom with the ball loose, but Chicago clears. Quickly Scott, Labonte, Taylor, past Laddish. Prico was able to get it back near the middle of the field on a clearance. O'Reilly in front. Silva was there, but hit a tough spot with two defenders. There's Shea Groom. Sauerbrunn to Averbush. The ball from the right side, serve to the middle, is going to be difficult with the Sun. Maybe a bit of a blind pass or cross, and corners from this side at FCKC offensive end will be in and out of the sun as Nair is shielding her eyes. 72nd minute, going on 73. Still looking for a goal. We had 5 on Wednesday when they played in Chicago. The Red Stars could be okay with this as a result. All they need is 1 point to make it to the postseason. And you may not worry about seeding as much as getting healthy and getting ready for that most meaningful game. Boy, one of the players dealing with injuries. Sam Johnson as well. But there will be a new champion, FCKC, out of the equation this year. And Boston at the bottom of the table was a team that proved to be a difficult matchup for FC Kansas City. Listen there, taking her time. Now the crowd hoots a bit at the delay. Labonte, Huerta. Katie Bowen. Back to Sauerbrunn. Labonte, Averbush. On a bounce. A lot of space on that right side. Short there with a foot, Laddish. Ahead to Heo. To get through short. The double team. Mott's there as well. Laddish. With a good move initially. Looking past DiBernardo. Red Stars will take it back. Chicago 4-4-1 on the road this year. Been kind of a tough home schedule for FCKC. A lot of good thoughts and prayers, well wishes toward Lauren Holiday. With her health situation becoming public over the last week, dealing with a benign brain tumor that they will address after her baby is born sometime around the end of September. They'll wait about 6 weeks before that procedure, but her husband Drew, who plays in the NBA, will be a dad and a father at the beginning of the NBA season, not a basketball player. We're all thinking about them. Ray Scott to O'Reilly on the ground. Laddish. Brittany Taylor Great time to see her get a first goal with FCKC. Ball's loose. Fran Silva, who has a good left foot. Haley Johnston able to come out of traffic with it, and just kind of a calm about the great center backs who are in a tight spot like that. DiBernardo slow to get up, not all the way up. Now a whistle. Katie Bowen. Palms up. The international sign of disappointment in a call. Nearing the 77th minute. Red Stars okay with taking time. They're okay with an even score. Averbush. Challenged by Mott, and Red Stars can't keep it. Hale runs over short. Shea Groom on the counter has Laddish, and Silva to her left. That's Laddish. Back to Labonta with a bullet wide. It was from distance, it was well struck. This wasn't on frame. Both teams have played hard here tonight, just haven't been able to get it in the net. But it's been good, intense soccer. So it was over the top of Gordon that time, and Sauerbrunn saves some seconds. Intercepting with her foot. Going past Silva. Barnhart will get there. To Sauerbrunn. And Katie Bowen, the left back, is playing up. On the left side now, quite a bit up. It does not look like forward back. And Brittany Taylor with a high position as well. Prico for the Red Stars. Looked at press, now safely plays it back. That's Bowen. Had a late start because of finishing up school at Carolina. Like Mandy Laddish, her rookie year. It's really hard to catch up that way. The first full years when they tend to really develop, flourish, and learn the game. And have to play catch up at all. It's Sauerbrunn. In the 79th minute, approaching 80. Intercepted Gordon, got a foot in. Laddish to Shea Groom. About a 1-on-5, 2-on-6. O'Reilly off short, and a corner kick. FCKC. Good run by Heo on the side. And sun will not be a factor at all. Goalkeeper or players. Although she will be looking into the sun. Yael Averbush will work her way inside the 6-yard box with Brittany Taylor. Two tallest targets for the Blues. O'Reilly will do it lefty. Sends it in front. Fran Silva was working her way toward the goal, but there snatched it out of the air to keep it scoreless. Not a bad spot at all. Scott turns all the way around. Kristen Press nearby. Press hasn't made a lot of noise in this one. One of the players in a scoreless match. Be careful here. Fran Silva trying to get it to her right foot. Now Laddish plays it back. Labonta again. White to the right. Saw her blast one to the left just a moment ago. And the Red Stars, after using a couple of injury subs, if you will, in the first half, will make their final one. Walls will check out. And Taylor Como for the Red Stars, the last of the 6 subs combined between the 2 teams. Taylor from Cal Berkeley. Able to call up a year ago with 5 starts. There's Taylor, cut back on Gordon. Laddish. One marking. Intercepted by Gordon. Past Labonta. Gordon now. FCKC will drop. They want to get a goal, but they don't want to give up one either on a counter. Talk about Kristen Press being somewhat quiet. Well, you always have to be aware of 2-3. See where she is. 82nd minute. Press with 7 goals, and this her 13th game. Shots on goal. She really hasn't been able to do anything too threatening here yet. Silva plays it back to Becky Sauerbrunn. Will be busy for Team USA, leaving on Tuesday for Columbus. Thailand is on Thursday. The Netherlands in Atlanta next Sunday for the U.S. Can't be called a victory tour since they didn't take care of business in Rio. They'll have a couple of friendlies in October as well coming up. Labonta to Silva. And Hale in front of her and Groom, both making sure they stay onside. There's Bowen, the left back, playing all the way up. And Groom was shielded by Naughton, not able to get free in front. Bowen and Press. And the Gordon throw in right in front of us. Wanted a handball on Colaprico, didn't get it. The ball kicked off Huerta. Bowen FCKC, Katie Bowen, in the 84th minute. Not a great deal of stoppage time, wouldn't think. Ball off Bowen. It's been a beautiful night here for soccer. I don't think we ever reached 80, but we started at about 77 degrees for our high. There's been some hot soccer days here this summer, but this is not one of them. Scott DiBernardo on her. Ava Bush, Como on her. Laddish. Back to Scott. Might switch the field. Bowen has a lot of space on the left side. Labonta keeps it in the middle. Bump from behind. Colaprico now. A late whistle. I'll have some time after this one to recover from 3 games in 8 days. Garoom still with possession. Ball was chipped just enough, now cleared. Colaprico there for the Stars. 86th minute. Sauerbrunn asked for it, so she got it. Now back to Bowen. See if they can speed up the tempo here at the end. Red Stars okay with slow and wide. Trying to redirect at Groom, but not able to do much with that. You can see Julie Johnston yelling instructions as the back line walks forward. And she's pointing on what kind of a shape she would like. Gals in front of her now. Here comes Heather O'Reilly. Has Groom. His body's in between, off short. Not able to get an angle on it. Nair picks it up. No damage done. Well, they could, both keepers could get clean sheets. Number 6 and 6 if this score holds up. But again, not that many shots on goal. Whitney Taylor, the first half, might have been the one that was the best look and best delivery on frame. And Nair was able to knock it wide. She was taking every allowable second and then some. With a header. FCKC cautious in back. 4, 5, 6 wide jerseys to 2 of the Red Stars. Not wanting some kind of a quick counter. And giving up a goal late in the 88th minute. In contrast to what we saw on Wednesday at their place. Not getting a win would prevent FCKC from getting to 500, which would be kind of a victory for the way the season has gone. Headed by Short, it's DiBernardo. Now wide to Motts. Scott there, Labonta, Laddish. Didn't have any options left. Now Bowen pretty much left her alone. By herself wide left. Haven't stretched the field as much. Now they come this way a bit. Huerta does. The Sauerbrunn headed that way. Hoping that the backside, Silva can't get there. Now Bowen has O'Reilly on a run. Has Groom to the left. Gordon from behind. Shea outside of the 18. Has Bowen. Ball loose. Laddish tried to settle and kick. Couldn't get enough on it. Sauerbrunn will try to reset in the 88th minute, coming up quickly on 90. There'll be no last minute sub. They've all been taken. Labonta, third time from distance, and wrapped up by Huerta. Pardon me, Nair was there for Chicago. Golders over the top of Silva. Settled by Groom and taken by Chicago and DiBernardo. Wide to Motts. Short ahead. Got Kristen Press. Looked at Gordon, didn't give it that way. Polaprico. A bump from behind. Huerta. The path altered enough by Sauerbrunn. FCKC could take it away. Here's Groom on a run with Gordon behind her. Has O'Reilly to the left. Julie Johnston was staying in the middle of the field, but they're not able to get there and keep it in play. 2 minutes of additional time being added here. 2 minutes is all. Chicago most likely will take their time at every opportunity to take their time. The draw here advances the Red Stars to the playoffs. Seattle wouldn't be able to catch him, factor in tiebreakers. Flip it down here for the Rain FC. Johnston again barking instructions. Well, she is in charge of this team. Sometimes it doesn't matter who has the captain's armband. Julie Johnston is running the show here tonight. Just press with a bump on Katie Bowen. Less than a minute now for FCKC. They'd like to be able to get out of here with a goal and a win. With a shot at 500. Labonta. And Bowen has space. She has O'Reilly to the left. Shea Groom, the top of the 18th. O'Reilly against Gordon in the middle. Laddish was there. Groom will try to get it to a foot where she can have an angle. Bump down by Short. They play on. Most likely just seconds away from that final whistle here. Brittany Taylor, Short backing up. As Silva in the box, gets it to her, Naughton defending, marking her tight, and there goes up to get it. Shea Groom was lurking, as was Heather O'Reilly, right in front, and we may be about out of time. And with that whistle, Chicago is bound for the postseason. Red Stars come in needing a point and get it. And Chicago will go to the playoffs. The draw that sends them to 8-5-6, 30 points now. FCKC unable to reach 500. Getting a draw, their 5th of the year, their 23rd point. Now 6, 8, and 5. So a couple of clean sheets we can pass out to each goalkeeper. Alyssa Nair, who survived beautifully in the first half threat by Brittany Taylor to keep it scoreless. And a goal by, no goal allowed by Nicole Barnhart either, as Barney gets the 6th shutout of the season. FCKC is able to play one more time on the 24th when they will go to Orlando. You saw that Gilliland Alex Arlett collision early. Gilliland coming out of the game, one of the 2 injury subs in the first half, but Chicago, while not able to get a goal, reached their goal of going to the postseason. Getting out of here with a 0-0 result and qualifying for the Final Four. From Swope Soccer Village and all of us here associated with the broadcast, glad you were able to watch us tonight as FCKC plays for the final time at home. Heather O'Reilly here, international retirement coming up on the 15th in Columbus against Thailand. Good night from Kansas City. Oh, thanks, sir.